Hey, my name's Kofi. I'm based in London. I have rent-to-essays in North and Central London. On this video today, I'm going to talk to you about 3 things you must do in rent-to-service accommodation. Here we go. So the first thing to do when you have your rent-to-rent is to get an exceptional housekeeping team. Now, you might not be able to find one, but you might have to train one up. Now, the importance of this is the fact that we live and die by our reviews. And essentially, the rent-to-essay business is a hospitality business. I've had it in the past where I've had cleaners who've missed things and they've just not been on top of their game. And I managed to get them out and get in new cleaners who understood the rent-to-essay model and the importance of exceptional service. So the way I'd go about doing this is you can list out in terms of the needs that you want, get a few different cleaners who would be willing to do the jobs that you want, and then you can train them up to do the specifics that you need. Some of these specifics are things like making sure they tick off the checklist after they've cleaned the property, right? But also just being your eyes and ears. The great thing when you have an exceptional cleaner or housekeeper is the fact that if something is missing, they're going to notice it. So it's almost as if you're in the house doing the housekeeping yourself because they check everything. Quite recently, one of my housekeepers, she messaged me, she called me, and she goes, Kofi, one of the towels is missing. All right, I think they took it. And for me, it's like, whilst I was annoyed that a towel's gone missing, which is not hard to replace, it was attention to detail for me that she was able to notice this, as opposed to some other cleaners I've had, things have been moved around, things have been taken, and they've not noticed. So that's the first thing I'll do, hire or train up an exceptional cleaning company or housekeeping team, and make sure you're very specific with your needs and what you expect of them. Another must-do for SA is exceptional marketing to stand out. Now, what you've got to realize is your service accommodation is a product. You are competing with hundreds of other products, right? Other units in the market, right? And what's going to stand you out from the rest of the others in the market is how well you market yourself. So things like branding, right? You can build an exceptional brand, and you can do this even on some of the platforms. You can put your branding, right, very smartly in some of your pictures that's going to give people an indication of who you are and try and find you on Google. At the same time, you can build a website that is listed on Google and can easily be found by some people who are looking for accommodation in your area. Standing out from the crowd is massive, because when you can do this, you really begin to move away from someone who's just doing it as it's their second property and they're just putting it on Airbnb to get some extra income, to actually becoming a fully fledged, service accommodation provider, a full brand that is well known in the market. So one of the keys to doing this is standing out with your branding, making sure you're Google listed, making sure your website is efficient, but also it's up to date with the latest photos. It's up to date also with the latest properties that you've taken on. And a good way to keep people engaged also is to create a blog on your website, because you're able to capture people's attention. And if you're smart enough also, you can keep them wanting to come back to your website by capturing their email details also. Another must do with service accommodation is to focus on direct bookings. I've seen it a lot before, and I've been guilty of myself, where I've just relied on some of the OTAs to get bookings. Now, the OTA is a fantastic platform and tool. What you have to see it as is the OTA is essentially a marketing cost. You pay 15%, right, to be on that platform because it's got loads of buyers. Everyone uses Airbnb, everyone uses booking.com and VRBO. So all eyes and attention are on you because you're on those platforms. You're paying 15%, right? It's a marketing cost. But the goal, right, to grow in your business is to take people off the platform onto your own CRM, which is a customer relationship platform. Once you do this well, you can begin to market to them time and time again. That's how you're able to attract and get repeat bookings. Because if someone stays with you, one of the key things that I do is I call them up before and after their stay. Before, I find out what brings them into the area and if anything I can do to help make this stay better. And afterwards, to get feedback of their stay and also to offer them discount on their next stay if they book with me directly. So in order to do that, I capture their email details, I put that into my CRM, and then now I can market to them in the future. And some key little clever hacks you can do is just reach out to your email list, right? And just say, you know, you've got a discount going on for 10%, not just for them, but for friends also. So that's a key hack in order to build a business and not to just focus on the OTAs like others are doing. So just to recap on the 3 points that I made, the first is to train up a housekeeping team. They can literally make or break a business, and it's really critical that you do this and do this well. The second point is the fact that it's a product, right? Service accommodation is a product, so you need to be able to brand yourself out well so you stand out and your product is more attractive than anyone else's. And the last point is to focus on direct bookings. Direct bookings will stand you out from the crowd because let's just say one day Airbnb or Booking.com went down, that's your business essentially over. You don't want to rely on them, so make sure that you take time to build that client list and you can always remarket to them. Now, it might sound scary trying to achieve, you know, those 3 things that I mentioned, but it does take time, right? It's not going to be easy, but you can achieve it. You just need to understand what you're looking for in finding those 3 things. I hope you found this helpful. See you on the next video.